Rich, a very proud day for yourself and also for the football club. 2-year contract to reward the last year that you've just had. A little word on that, please.
Yeah, well, it's really good 12 months, really positive. I was just talking to someone in there actually. Like I hadn't even been appointed at this time last year, and we had to sign a whole new squad. We had to sort of all of our pre-season friendlies out. You know, it was a bit chaotic. We're really organised this year. We've got all of our signings, done over the line, which I'm sure you'll hear about later. And yeah, it was a terrific 12 months. Feels like home. It's a brilliant football club full of great people in the boards. I've got a great backroom staff, and the supporters are what make the football club. And it's delighted to be here for a further 2 years, and can't wait to see where we are come 2027.
And those conversations, Rich, obviously you talk about it feeling like home and really feeling like this place is a part of your sort of identity now as a manager and also as a person. So how simple were those conversations with the board? Yeah,
absolutely. Like really simple. Like I'm delighted that they sort of trust me to lead this football club for, like I said, the next couple of seasons. It certainly wasn't about trying to negotiate anything extra for myself. I'm just delighted to be here. Like I said, this football club means a lot to me over now versus sort of the 12 months I've had with the football club. It's been terrific, and can't wait for the season to start. I say that, it's nice to have a break, of course it is, but yeah, really excited about what we can achieve not only next year but beyond really.
And obviously, all the talk will be on next season, Rich, and what the team want to achieve. But from your sort of perspective as a manager, sort of going from your time at Cribs and also your time down on the South Coast as well, how much have you learned from this past year at being at Taunton?
God, yeah. I mean, like I said, walking into this division, not managing this division before, it's unrelenting. We took it a little bit lightly, perhaps, with some of the signings that we thought would make the grade. I've learnt loads, to be honest. You're up against top quality managers. There's, so many good football players in the division, but we've held our own. I promised at my interview that I'd deliver a top 10 finish. We did that by finishing ninth. We did it in a way that perhaps wasn't how I set out. I've always had really settled squads, and probably wasn't until we got to December, January that steadied and slowed down. But I feel like I've learnt a lot, and I'm a better manager for it. My staff will feel the same, and some of the players, you have to look at Jayden Nielsen, Owen Brain, Jake Hodgson, Ollie Woodhouse. It's their first year at the level, and they'll be a lot better for it as well next year.
Definitely, and obviously we've now seen the retain list, Rich, and a good core number of the players from last year staying this year, and an opportunity now to sort of cherry pick those key players that you need for the right positions. But just a word on the squad and how that's shaping up.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to recognise that the new signings will get their moment in the light, and of course we needed to plug holes at full-back and centre forward and those key positions that we perhaps didn't have in abundance last year. I think the football players that remain, there's 11 obviously that retain, and we've got a further couple of those that need to come and do a bit in pre-season with us to get over the line on that. Top quality players. Look at your Tom Purington, your Alfie Maldens. I've mentioned Jayden and Owen, but there's still so much room for growth in there, alongside some of the experienced boys, Jake and Nick Grimes, and I think we've got a good blend. The signings will help elevate our 11 as well as the 16, but we've got some top quality players here. You look at from 1 to 11. I'm saying 1. You look at Josh Gould. There isn't a better keeper in the division. We're feeling really optimistic, Bill. I think we look at ourselves as a team that's ready to do good things this year, and we're really excited by it.
And those tests are going to start pretty quickly. Obviously, I know you're going to be doing your negotiations with players, and like you say, trying to get the right characters to get in. It's good to know that the business has already been done for that. We're starting to release those pre-season games now, games against Merthyr, games against Bath. How much are you excited to get back down here and manage in front of the fans?
Yeah. Like, I think we've got 6 home games at home this year. Like we last year we travelled the southwest. I think we went everywhere. The pitch wasn't ready last year, like the players and we inherited a situation the club and the board did as well, not just myself. Where there was a lot of work that needed to be done. This year we want to get to grips with being a really good. We didn't win enough home games last year. Our away form was playoff. In terms of it, we're the 5th best away team in the division. We need to be better at home. So we've got some top quality teams, like you mentioned, that are going to be here. We'll be able to test ourselves again. We won a lot of games heavily last year against sides that weren't at this level. This year we're playing a lot of sides above. and we're going to be really tested, which will mean we're ready come August the 10th or 9th, whatever it is. We'll be ready to go. But we're asking a lot of the supporters to come in for 6, but I'm sure they're cherry pick the ones they want to come into out of those home games. So hopefully we get good home support. And we'll hopefully provide them a lot of home wins in the league. I think that's ultimately why we're doing it.
And talking about their support, Rich, obviously, like I say, it was a big transitional year for the club in terms of a lot of new faces coming in. How key has their support been over the year?
Honestly, they're different class. Like I said, we didn't reward them with enough wins, but you look at our average attendance on a Saturday, we're close to 4 figures, and I think, a bit of work to be done on the Tuesday nights. We've got to try and get our numbers up on a Tuesday because you can feel the drop off. But the home support is incredible. Like, I think the away support, a top draw there. The thing is, there's a lot of clubs with good support. We got good human beings as well. They're a good bunch. They support us in the right way. They let us know when we're not performing. No, don't get me wrong. They let us know when we're not performing. But I think they're a terrific element of this football club. The most important. It sounds a bit cliche, but it's true. You're only as good as your support base, and if they back us with good numbers next year, hopefully we'll be able to reward them, like I said, with a lot more home wins, and we're looking up that table. We don't want to finish below where we are now. We want to finish above that, and let's see where that takes us.
Thanks for your time, Rich. Thank you.
Cheers, Bill.